Hello everyone, and let me welcome you to another recording of a 2v2 match. This time it's a Volley of Prayer map with Shumi again, and we will be trying to do our best to show you the game in the best light possible. Hello Shumi.
Hello there, Onyx. How are you so far?
I am quite alright, I'm quite good. I feel good about this map because I think we had our fair share of training on this one.
Yes, this is a map that we play very often. I had a moment where I said, well, I don't want to play that map. I just banned it from my list.
Yeah, I get that. But I think I'm quite happy to go back to it right now. And there is a little difference in between the previous map, the Ruins we've played before, because on this map, as you can already see, there are some mining sites close by our starting area. And your engineers are already surveying. Wow, that's fast.
They are not only surveying, I'm already pre-building the weapon production. You see Furnace is getting up right now, but that on the top is a blacksmith. I will be producing my units very quickly.
That is interesting. To be fair, it didn't occur to me that I could go for it that fast. I'm actually focusing on some sort of regular production. With my wood production and probably stone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm already surveying as well. That's not that slow.
No, you're not pre-building, but you have at least surveyed right now, and you know where it will be, so you'll not Daranix yourself.
Yeah, this is a new verb in our community. When someone makes something very wrong, they sort of Daranix it. It's a noun now. Anyway, this map is a little scuffed at this point, although the developer team has been made aware about some issues this map has. Currently, you can actually sneak past the bandit camps, which should actually make you unable to rush your enemies. You can sneak past those bandit camps and get to the middle of this map. What does it get you, Shumi?
Well, the dead middle of the map, you see some interesting spots on the minimap, but the dead middle of the map gives you every 10 minutes 5 units which are good at destroying buildings.
Yes, and we are kind of conflicted whether it's even beneficiary for you to do so, because those units are only good at the building destroying, but they also get you stuck on your population production sometimes, because you don't really need that many units at the beginning, which you can't actually use because you need to fight through the bandit camps and fight your enemies first before getting to those buildings. So there are two dilemmas, so to say, regarding this situation with the rushing, because for once, you can't really manage your population that well, and it's also somewhat unsportsmanlike behavior, I'd say, because you shouldn't really go past those bandit camps. The game, you are not meant to do so.
I don't think that it's that unsportsmanlike. It's the opponent can deal with that. So you don't have any units, you just took 5 spots from your population. You will have problems soon, and those 5 units, they will not help you with the army your enemy has.
That's true. I mean, it's not such a big issue. But let's get back a bit and watch our gameplay for a bit. What is happening right now? So as you can see, we have both already started or going for the military production, and we are working on building some material production in the background, so some wood and some stone. What's your goal on this map? What do you want to finish first? You usually say you focus on one thing. What is the one thing you focus on this map, Shumi?
On this map I focus on the military, because you have your military right at the top. I want to first be able to produce some military. I then go for the food of the military, which I, in this game, frankly, forgot.
Okay. One thing that is really important to mention in here, you only have access to one coal for a long time. So you definitely want to boost this coal production. I will probably do so very soon. Although as it usually gets between us, I am slower in unit production. Maybe before I am playing Ilari, but also because Shumi is just great at it.
I pre-built my building, so I could
Yeah.
have built my units way sooner.
Yeah.
What you will not see from me is that I built a bakery anytime soon, because I forgot. That's the part I forgot about, and that will hurt me in the long run.
Yeah, Shumi is probably getting confused right now because he hasn't spawned on this particular starting area. Am I right?
True. That was my first time on this spot.
Yeah, and he's currently comparing the distance in between your warehouse and these regrowing trees at the shore, which he's currently expanding towards. And yeah, this starting area has those regrowing trees quite far away, actually. Compared to my side, for example, you will soon see that my regrowing trees are way closer.
Yes.
I'm not so sure whether it's imbalance or whether you have something better. Did you have access to your mining area immediately at the beginning of the match?
I did have a small bit of it in my territory, but what I must say, it's not that much of an imbalance, since it's the bottommost player and the topmost player on this map who have the regrowing forest close by. So both opponents, I'd say, have the regrowing forest close by.
Yeah, you could just see now the regrowing forest of mine on the screen a few moments ago. It is really that much closer, but Shumi is absolutely right. And I can see you're pre-building, you're logging your wood production in here very fast. That's actually a very good step, because I think I'm gonna be suffering from the fact that I didn't do so that quickly.
Yeah, having wood, having too much wood and too much stone is crucial in this game, since you will have big buildings to build soon, like the academy if you go for trading, the harbor, and you just need, and military production also eats a lot of it. You do need to have a surplus of wood and stone.
I think that a viewer who is not playing this game at all or not that often would say, well, what the hell, it's obvious that you should build, well, residences for population, you should have wood, you should have stone. It is quite easy to say that, but you always forget it while focused on many different things. Let's talk for a bit about what's new in the community, though, because since the last time we were recording, there has been some changes. For example, we have a Wikipedia now. What are the newest additions to those Wikipedia sites, Shumi?
We are gathering their information about costs of buildings, about we are trying to gather information about what the building's health is, and in general information about it, how quickly does something gather. And we try to make a very comprehensive, very throughout information base for this game.
Yes. For example, a very funny information I've recently learned is that scouts actually they deal only 1 damage while sieging, which is crazy considering a building can have like 600 health. They actually have to throw their torch 600 times.
I will correct you. I did not prove that it's 1 damage. They do need 600 torches to destroy a logging camp, which is hurt. Counting to 600 was difficult, guys.
Okay. So I might not be right there, but it's a lot. It's a huge lot. It is absolutely useless to use scouts for attacking structures.
Yes, especially if that's a turret.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people are still mad about players who are taking the tactic of scout rushing, but I think it's so weak by this point compared to people who can very well rush the proper military production. I think it's not that threatening as it used to be before the change on March 16th.
Yes, well, you should probably say that you've tried that and it didn't work. Right?
Yeah, I have. I actually tried it on the depths map, which is another 2v2 we haven't shown before. And even getting through a small bandit camp of, I don't know, 12 to 10 bandits, most of your scouts get shredded by them, and your initial attack, which they are only good for, isn't that powerful after all.
Yes.
So yeah, scouts are probably really just for scouting.
Well, yeah, they've made it for scouting.
Yeah.
Should we maybe talk about the opponents here? Because that's also something that's upgraded from the last 2v2 we've played together.
Yeah, that's true. Because before we've been showing you some random players, but this time we actually are recording a match against our community members on the Discord, on the Settlers New Allies community Discord. And this Discord is, by the way, linked down below under this video. So feel free to join us for any casual gameplay, or if you want to try and go for any ranked gameplay, you can do so as well, because we have a custom ELO ranking bot, which is currently in a beta version, so to say, but we are working on it, and you can already use that.
Yes.
Although our opponents, they are, even though we haven't shown any stats so far, they are very good. Yes, you can see that immediately right now. We will probably pause this screen, I think. Anyway, they are definitely very good. They are as strong as we are, if not even stronger.
Yes, I have to say here, thank you Baranek, have you for this game and for making this video possible. I think this was an amazing game, and it shows off a bit of a game between stronger players, even though, as it happens, something doesn't go to plan for some of those players, up to plan. I still think that this game was very strong.
I think that's a little bit of a spoiler alert. I think it's gonna be there are gonna be quite a few good fights.
There will be a good fighting.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I wanted to spoil a little bit more. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you definitely should not.
There is stuff to wait for.
Yeah. One thing which is maybe also good to mention is that we both already have quite a few shields and maybe even bows to produce our army, but neither of us are doing so far, because we actually want to keep our population focused on economic production. Because so far, if we look at the stats, we actually know that our opponents didn't expand out of their initial territory. They didn't defeat those bandits which are necessary to be defeated to go out. Yeah, those bandits to the top of Shumi's screen right now. They didn't do so, and therefore we know we don't have to rush those military units, and we can focus our carriers on building a somewhat deeper economy behind it.
Yes. Also, nice to say, how do we know it? Each unit defeated gives you 5 military points, and the military points are visible on the score screen. So I'm periodically checking that screen to see if someone has reached 75 score, or if the opponents reach 75 score as a sum, because that means that they might have escaped.
Yes, that is precise. Now, this map is also great because it immediately gives you access to hunting, as you can see. So even though you only have access to 1 coal mine and, well, 2 iron mines, but you don't really need those, there's plenty of iron produced by 1 iron mine. But the thing I want to say is you can actually immediately boost all your military production buildings with food, which is extremely important. And it makes a huge difference in those early game fights where every single population, or rather military number, makes a huge difference.
Yes.
But here you can see Shumi building a tower, which is something he didn't do before, and we've quite a few times actually lost due to that. But we've learned from our mistakes, and actually I have forgotten to do so on this map. But Shumi actually he reminded me to do so right now by pinging on it, and I am glad he did, because those towers, even though some players go for military only, and they don't like to build any defenses, I wouldn't agree with that. Towers are very important. At least one initial tower which somewhat defends your main production, it is very important.
Yes. You see, Daranix here is now going for military. He starts building military. Some first units are escaping there on the right of the screen. I did not start doing that yet because I have serious problems with my population. I am on 0 population for a long time now, and it kind of doesn't seem that I escaped that 0 for a long time still.
Although you can see us implementing the strategy we've discussed before on a 1v1 video, which was released before, we are trying to focus on building 1, 2 or 3 residences only at the same time, because building more of them only makes your carriers more busy by carrying way too many stuffs, materials to those building sites of those residences, and it then blocks your whole production in the process. So it makes you occupied, so the game feels more fluent. It feels like you have more things to do. While if you want to maximize your production capabilities, and that is an effect I very much like.
It sure is. I want to explain what I did with the fishing spot right there. I wanted to build another fishing hut, but I did not want to build it that far from the fishes. And the reason for that is that the gatherers, all of the gatherers, move quite slowly in comparison to the carriers. So I specifically tried to build the gatherers as close to the gathering spot as I could have. And I went out of my way, sent a few engineers to make my spot a bit wider in order to not have that problem, not have that slow fish production.
By the way, following the idea that building defenses isn't that beneficial for you, we actually managed to use our defenses to lure and kill some of those bandits away, which actually adds a little more depth, a little more use to those towers. You really have to maximize every possible output out of your buildings and units if you want to win against good players. And we are and will be facing some of the best players in the game, I think, currently, because our community is growing very steadily, and most of those people who are there are really passionate about the game, so they have a lot of awareness regarding different strategies and some deeper understandings.
Yes, there are definitely people who really like to play this game and play very well.
On the other hand, an important note to say, I think, about this particular match is one of our enemies, Heb. He is more focused on playing the 1v1 maps, so I think he actually is playing this map for the first time. And that is a huge disadvantage, especially in this game, in the Settlers New Allies. Knowing the layout of maps is extremely beneficiary.
Yes.
And I think this might actually, I will be very surprised if he will be able to compete with the score of the rest of us during this match.
I don't remember. Do you remember?
I think we'll see, but I think he will be able to. Heb is generally a very good player.
He is.
But yeah, you could see now on my screen before that I haven't been building those fishermen as close to those fishing sites as possible, and that's because all those information we're gathering regarding timings and the times they take to get to a certain position, it's still very fresh, so we are still in the learning curve.
It is. I started creating some research data where I write those stuff and also share them as soon as I know them. But of course, I cannot be informing every single person one by one about this. So as soon as someone looks in the research sheet, they may learn something. If they don't, well, they just need a bit longer or just talk to me. I share my information very gladly, and if you want to learn something about a game, well, you can definitely come to the server. I am there very often. Ask your questions, come to the voice chat. I will gladly answer most of those.
And not only Shumi, I think most of us are very helpful and always willing to learn. By the way, I really like how this game actually... I didn't think there will be such depth and research needed behind all those functions and production chains and stuff. Yeah, I'm a little surprised because on the surface the game appears to be a little too simplified for some people compared to those previous The Settlers games, which had really advanced production chains. But this game, it's way more fast-paced, and therefore min-maxing every single possible outcome is very important. And it actually, there is certain depth within the simplicity, which is actually pretty cool.
Yes. And I don't know if you've read the forum at that point, but at the beginning of the game, someone wrote in there that this game is too simplified. They don't like it because it's too simple. I want them to come here and fight me.
Yeah, I think I actually answered precisely that on such a thread. Yeah, I think I did, because yeah, that's precisely what I thought. And if someone says like, oh my god, there's no reason to build food production, you don't even need that to build units, I would only tell him, come and fight me, I'll show you how important it is.
Yes, until I'm beaten, I think the game has very much depth.
Yeah, definitely. But by the way, you could see that we have, or Shumi has already reached the middle end mark, which gives you those 5 units we've discussed before. This is actually the time when it is possible, or I'd say good for you to get them, because we already have the military behind it, and we can afford those population sizes to be given to those to these units.
Not only the economy, but also I do not plan to build anything big anymore. Not anytime soon. I have my military production, which uses a lot of people. I don't want to go for trading nor for gold in the nearest future. I will go for gems. And so I don't need that many carriers right now. I can. It will suffice if I just build the residences in a steady manner.
Yeah, you have mentioned trading via the harbor in this game in particular. We have mentioned trading before, I think, but if you're playing against, I'm gonna repeat that. If you're playing against good players and you're a little stuck, and both you and your opponents are in, let's say, a similar position, trading is actually a good game changer, a good way of defeating those odds against those players who are of same strengths as you are, because you usually have the access to same resources, and additional resource production is very important. What do you actually trade for usually, Shumi?
So if I don't have a gold spot, I sell my bread or any food, really. If I produce a surplus of food, I sell a food. And I always buy coal. Since you don't generally have enough coal, you have enough iron.
Definitely, because the iron mines produce a lot of iron, and furnace is usually boosted by meat. Therefore, you always use just a little bit of those iron mines. And the fact that coal is used both by the furnace and by the blacksmith makes the consumption way bigger.
Yes. Just to throw in some numbers, one iron mine can feed into more than one furnace. Not exactly 2, but it's more than 1.
Interesting. So there you can hear the research talking, and enemies are coming for me. This is a time where I'm extremely surprised. I didn't expect them both to come for me. They must have actually leave their starting areas using the same. They must have used the tunnel in between them and leave together.
Yes, we did not show off the tunnel yet, but there's a tunnel that allows you to go from one player to the other.
Exactly.
Well, there's also a piece of ground that you can just go over. You don't need to.
I am very glad that I've managed to save all my engineers there. But you can already see that they got scared by my tower immediately, and they are turning around to attack you, where they'll meet another surprise. Although I would definitely not be able to defeat such an army if I didn't have the tower. So I'm glad I built it.
Yes, the tower saved you there. Good thing I showed you one.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to expand here and build another tower close by those stone mines, because that's gonna be crucial for me, I think.
Yes, stone is a problem on this map. You only have some initial stone, and the next stone is the one that that the Ranix is building right now. Right
Yes,
there,
on those
visible.
mines, yeah.
And so the stone is a problem, and you really want to build it out there. I am already also building one stone mine right there, but as you see, I have not protected it too much, nor do I have the army to beat that army. So that will sadly be the end of my stone mines right there.
Yeah, I am following those enemies in some sort of an attempt to help you, but I think if I'd crash to them, it would just cost me the whole army and I wouldn't win.
Well,
So
1v1, nobody wins. I think.
Well,
1v2, sorry.
yeah, you actually won today, a 1v2. But yeah,
Yes, I mean in this game.
yeah. Against such a good enemies, definitely no.
Yeah.
So you can see that Shumi's stone mine is already gone, as he predicted. It was pretty obvious it's gonna happen, to be honest.
Let me explain to you what I did with those units back there. In this game you can teleport your units to fully built buildings, and I planned to do an ambush. If they ever planned to crash into my towers, I would just teleport them on the front line, and they would have to beat the tower and more units than I thought they would need to.
It's also not good to show the enemy your whole army. So when they come to those towers and see just a bunch of archers of Shumis, they might actually think that they are in a good position, while they are in fact not.
Yes, this game is a game of information and misinformation, which I love.
Well, that's sort of a definition of a strategy game, Shumi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope I'm gonna get this this tower going. I'm trying to build at the stone mines, because it's gonna be really important for me, I think. I'm gonna try and protect it, but if they actually decide to attack my whole army, well, they are twice the amount, so I don't think I'm gonna be of much.
They built a lot of armies, so they are more than twice the amount.
But I think they are currently waiting to get the middle, which is on
Yes,
cooldown, because you did that.
As I said, the middle refreshes every 10 minutes, and I did that about 7 minutes ago, so they still would need to wait 3 minutes.
Yeah. I think they just get it. And my tower is just starting to build. By the way, I love your archer on the edge of that cliff. It looks so magnificent how he's looking on the combat.
Yeah, I placed him. Actually, that looks so magnificent. I did not look at him that much. I looked at what he sees.
I was actually looking at him the whole time, and I loved it. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's an archer underneath my minimap. Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, that's him in the middle of the screen.
That's my scout.
Yeah.
He was there to tell me what my opponents were doing. As said, this game is a game of information, misinformation, and I tried to gather information. I actually sent a second archer. You can see it on the minimap. He is a bit more to the front, and he also gathers some information. Or maybe currently he gathers no information, since none of our opponent's army is there.
The thing I've noticed right there is that the blue guy only has archers. They mostly had archers, and I've used all my guardians to attack those archers, rush in immediately, and that was extremely important, I think. Look at the difference it makes. They are slicing through. It's crazy.
Yes.
If you get your melee units against enemy archers, it's really hard for them to fight them. And the tower, look at that, it's been finished at the precisely right time.
Yes.
Because the other group of Turkey's units, they were just there. I think it's Baranek who
Baranek,
got,
yes.
yeah, it was
Sneaky,
a few
sneaky.
seconds to go.
Sneaky, and sadly this did not work. You might question yourself why the big army in the middle there backed off. I was on their back, and I actually still am on their back. So they are running away from my army.
So we kind of got them in the middle
There you
of our armies, and yeah, not many of them actually stayed in the match. Most of their army is that.
Yes, they a little bit went too much in and did not have anything to show for it. Like they wouldn't have killed the towers, no way. So yeah, they now have to fall back and hope that they don't die.
Now
And
the thing is,
if they build towers, they will not die.
now the thing, while building your initial military production, you usually focus on archers, because you can kite enemy bandit camps with those archers and defeat them very easily without losing any of your own military units. On the other hand, if you keep producing archers only, this, precisely that happened to, I think that was mostly the blue player. He, as I mentioned, had only those archers and they got shredded. You also need to mix that with some melee units, otherwise you will really have a hard time.
Yes, a mixed army is always better than a singular unit. And the archers are generally weak against the defenders, because the defenders have 500 health and
Yes.
the archers only 300. They need way more hits to kill a defender.
And I think we are actually closing on a match finish right there.
Would he have built a tower, it would have been a different story. But that is the mistake that Baranek did. Here,
Yeah.
he forgot a tower.
He actually he attacked without having defenses, which is really risky against good players, I think.
Yes, they opened their ramp right there. They opened it and did not build towers.
On the other hand,
Much.
after this match, I will make Baranek aware that he shouldn't do that, and I will do it right after in the next match. I will repeat the same mistake. So it's easy. It's easy to well, tell someone what to do, while you're not the one making those mistakes. But
Yes.
yeah.
There is some meta play going on. I sent my building destroying unit up the ramp there to the enemy warehouse because there was more army coming in, and they needed to take them out. If they would have gone to the top, they would have disrupted all production.
Yes.
So I just sacrificing units that are not good against units. I bought us more time on the bottom to beat the army.
Yeah, and it's here that we've decided that I'm actually going to go through the tunnel, which will be shown right now. And Shumi will keep attacking Baranek, this Turkey's player, while my troops will go through the tunnel to the position of Hep and his blue units.
Yeah, let's see that. Great transition.
Now, I'm not sure at all whether he's gonna have defenses right there. And I was very happy to see that he didn't, because if you run through a tunnel and there is either a decoy or a tower, or God forbid, a decoy with a tower, your units are absolutely shredded, because they actually cannot go through a tower immediately together. They are separated and they are coming, well, through the tunnel procedurally. And that makes them extremely vulnerable towards the enemy's whole army waiting for you right there.
Yes, you said that they go through the tower. They don't go through the tower. He meant the tunnel.
I had excuse me right there.
No worries, I'm here to make it better.
I think you're actually currently destroying the Turkey's player Baranek's warehouse. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
Let's look at that.
There I am.
Yeah.
What a transition.
And you can see now that those areas, as well as our areas, are connected up on this hill. So Shumi can proceed through this northern area, and I can, or uphill area, and I'm proceeding from the lower ends of the map.
Yes, I was surprised to see that he did not build towers on the top when he saw that we are going for Baranek. I gather he probably did not have the resources to do so, or just the time. And I sent archers to make sure that he did not build those defenses, and so I am already at his second warehouse.
All in all, considering this is a 2v2 match, it was a very fast one.
True, 35 minutes, yeah, and it wasn't an easy one because they did have an army.
Yeah, and they were controlling it very well.
Yes.
I think one tower would make the difference. If Baranek built the one tower, it would make a huge difference. I think we wouldn't be being able to break through with their units combined underneath the tower.
Yes, the game would have lasted a bit longer.
Yeah, but I like that actually this took such a short time. It was really action-packed.
I've heard you say that you don't like rushing.
I wouldn't call this rushing, though.
Ah, okay. But short games are made by rushing.
It's a flexible line. But anyway, as this game is coming to an end, I would like to thank you for watching, and we will hope to see you in the next one. Make sure you join our community if you're willing to, or if you want to play the Settlers in the future.
Yes, thank you a lot, watching people, and see you in the next one.